Tina Fontaine's murder is unfortunately not the only grim anniversary this week. It was 7 years ago that 22-year-old Cree man Colten Boushie from Red Pheasant First Nation in Saskatchewan was shot and killed. For more, we're joined by our Truth and Politics panel, Carrie Benjo, the editor of Eagle Feather News, and Niigaan Sinclair, a columnist with the Winnipeg Free Press. Carrie, Niigaan, thank you both so much for joining us again today for this panel. Carrie, we'll start with you. What do you think the legacies of Tina Fontaine and Colten Boushie are? I
think their legacy is still with us. Anytime there is any type of incident, we quickly remember their names and remember their stories, the justice that they didn't get. And I think that drives a lot of people now to not sit idly by. They're quick to jump to support families. They're quick to raise awareness. And I think it really spurred a lot of social activity online, within the public. We see it now, we see it still happening, and I think it really brought the entire nation together.
And Niigaan, do you think these names will remain important for years to come?
Well, certainly at this time of year, it's been 9 years since the loss of Tina Fontaine, 7 years since the loss of Colten Boushie. Both of their deaths created tremendous, while sad and tragic and absolutely injustice. Created a lot of outcomes that I think we can see in society today. I mean, we wouldn't certainly have gotten the Murder Missing Indigenous Women and Girls inquiry without the huge outcry as a result of the death of Tina. And certainly we wouldn't be aware of the tremendous violence that Saskatchewan First Nations endure, the ways that young Indigenous men are treated, the ways in which, many academics have spoken about the fact that, in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Alberta, it's still very much geared in sort of a Wild West atmosphere where people feel that this is my land, I've earned this land, I deserve to kill whoever comes on it, and etc. And both of those things have created ripple effects through Canadian society that we can see today. You absolutely cannot speak about reconciliation on the prairies because of the issues and the violence that Indigenous women and girls endure and the over-incarceration of young Indigenous men. Those are two important issues that were tapped into as a result of the murders of these two young people and the facts that we are still in mourning over this. We are still experiencing these same issues that led to these deaths, whether it be poverty, whether it be the child welfare system, whether it be the innate racism within the justice system. Those are still here today, and we still see them all the time.
And Carrie, we had the recent incident where a farmer is alleged to have pointed a gun at an Indigenous woman in northern Saskatchewan. Have race relations changed much in the province?
Sadly, no. We have legislation that kind of backs up that attitude. We have the no trespassing legislation, and that creates this sort of atmosphere where it's okay to be aggressive, to be violent towards, especially Indigenous people. There's conversations taking place online that there's non-Indigenous people talking about how when they go onto properties, nothing happens because they're white. The same sort of allowance is not allowed for people of my color. If we are in places where traditionally it's our homeland, we are viewed as trespassers, people not belonging there, and people who should be kept out of those places. It's really sad that this lady was on the side of the road fixing her tire and she had a gun pulled on her for no apparent reason, yet nobody seems to be held accountable, and it just seems so ridiculous that this is happening, and I really fear that no justice will also come from this, just because it'll be brushed off as a one-off and not worthy of investigating. But I think it's so important that we take a stand and say, no, this is not okay.
And then Nigan, the last question to you here. As mentioned, it's been 9 years on from the death of Tina Fontaine. An entire national inquiry has happened. Have things changed over the years?
On the night or the following days after Tina Fontaine's remains were found in the Red River, there was a tremendous public outcry that wasn't just Indigenous. The gathering at the Forks, which I myself and a few others coordinated that event, were completely shocked by the number of non-Indigenous Winnipeggers that came out that night. There's something about Tina Fontaine's passing that tapped into a kind of ethos of Winnipeg that created a lot of movement for a period of time. I think that momentum has certainly slowed, but for a long period of time, there was change within the streets of Winnipeg, a lot of interest in the issues of child welfare, the fact that she was encountered by paramedics and fire and police services, the fact that she was left abandoned in a terrible situation that no young person should ever have to endure. And so there was interest, there was investment, there was even a place which was created to honor her, to support young people who were in marginalized situations. All that momentum has slowed down, especially with a very strong conservative government in Manitoba that's far more invested in austerity than it is in providing support for downtown Winnipeg. And so the challenge is how can we pick up that work and pick up the spirit of what Tina continues to give to us today, and most importantly, to make sure that there are no other cases like that. And there are many activists working very hard right now, as an example, to look for human remains at the landfill site north of Winnipeg, but then most importantly, to make sure that young women are protected in the society. And so we need to make sure that we ally with them, we stand with them, we don't take our eyes off that situation.
Well, Carrie Nigan, we'll have to leave it there. Certainly plenty of great points there. Thank you both so much for this.
Yeah, be glad. Thanks.
Thanks.